before. When Mom, because Mom,
Oh.
or no, that wasn't even Iron Man. That was Iron Man 2.
Was it?
Which would have been, I think, 2010, 2011. That was the first time I'd ever seen an iPhone. And she got an iPhone 3G.
Oh.
And she dropped it in the movie theater. Like, spilled her whole purse out in the middle of the theater.
Oh my god, I've had that happen to me, and it was so horrible.
It was pretty bad for her.
Especially her, because
up.
her purses are huge.
Yeah, back then they definitely were.
Like, she could carry a small city in her purse.
It's a bowling bag.
Her luggage.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Gonna have to stop switching to him soon.
Yeah, his health is getting pretty low. Oh, goodness.
Yes, that whole day was a series of blunders.
It's basically our whole lives. Well, mine, but...
Well, that was interesting. Because that's what we were there at the mall for that day.
Yeah, I know. That was Easter pictures.
Was it Easter?
Yeah, it was for Easter pictures.
Okay.
Because I wasn't even going to be in them because I looked like trash.
I don't remember that.
I remember that.
All I remember is that video game was garbage when I brought it back home.
Do you remember going to the Movie Man down the block?
Yeah, while you and Mom would get suntans while I would literally just pick out a game I wanted or whatever.
And then you'd bring it back home. I think you played... Which one was it? Was it Sonic?
Sonic Heroes.
Yes.
For PlayStation 2.
You wore that game out. I think you almost beat it a couple times, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then the memory card corrupted or something?
Yeah, something was up. And then, I think...
It was that red memory card, I remember. It was the red one.
Somebody bought it for me. Like, later on. I actually owned it.
And I think that might have been Mom, because I bought you the Need for Speed, I think.
Yeah, that was years later. Yeah, that was a story right there, but...
that was so funny.
For Christmas one year, she consistently told me that she was just gonna buy me trash bags, and I was like, "No, you're not. No, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen."
And then my mom would get trash bags for free from the city, because that was like a program that they did for the residents of our city. The city officials would give out these boxes of trash bags that would last a whole year.
Yeah, and then I think was that what I opened for Christmas Eve?
Yes, that was your one present for Christmas Eve.
I got to open up one present for Christmas Eve, and that was it. I decided to open it, and I thought it was nothing but trash bags. I was like so upset.
You were so mad.
I was really upset.
And then I was like, "Put your hand in the box," and you're like, "No."
I was like, "I'm not doing it. It's gone too far already."
So funny.
It was probably definitely the best Need for Speed game I think I've ever played. Probably one of the best driving games I've ever played. Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Yeah.
That's the one with the pink slips and
yeah,
like get people's cars and stuff. Oh no.
I think Virgil and I have Underground, which Underground's not bad either.
Yeah, it's okay. What do you play it on?
Virgil has had an old PS2. That was before our house got broken into and somebody stole it.
My PS2?
No, it was Virgil's PS2. When they broke in, they stole the PS2 and they stole your Wii.
What happened to my PS2?
I don't know.
I gave it to you.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, then that was probably the one they stole.
Yes, it probably was.
Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If it helps, I went to the crackhead's house that broke in with my sword.
Okay.
and threaten them with bodily harm.
Well, I still have yet to have a PS2 or a Wii, so
I'm sorry. That
now I
legit
can't
wasn't
play
my
Animal
fault.
Crossing anymore. And Switches are so expensive.
Well, why don't you
Uh-oh.
convince
Uh-oh. Did
you
I?
hit the yeah,
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. Why don't you convince Xander to buy a Switch and
Apparently, he's gung-ho about getting this phone because he about tore my head off when I suggested otherwise.
oh, I know, he's such a butthole. He's being such a butthole about it.
Well, I was like, listen, I was like, you're constantly outside, you're constantly making messes, you're constantly like falling and scraping your knees and all this stuff and junk.
And
And
like he has like this weird obsession with the creek, and I have told him thousands of times to stay away from that creek.
what the thing is, he's wanting to spend all this money on like a phone that he can play games on and do all this stuff. It's like there are better things to play games on, first of all.
Yeah, for
And
real.
then second of all, if he carries that around with him, like I know he will, if he gets
Yeah.
one, it'll get destroyed or he'll lose it.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggested he get a cheaper phone, like like a track phone or something like that he can carry around with him, and then get like something else, like a Switch or something else to play games on.
Not gonna lie, I'd like to play Sword and Shield.
There's a lot of games that I honestly think you, me, Mom, Talia, and Xander would all enjoy games that are on the Switch.
Probably. I really want to play Sword and Shield, and I want to play Let's Go Eevee.
I think Talia would like Just Dance or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that's on
she
there.
would.
I think Mom. Well, I don't know if she would. I think once she actually played it, she would enjoy it. But there's a game called Snipper Clips. Have you seen that?
No, what's that?
It's like every player is like a sheet of paper, and
Uh-huh.
you have to like cut each other to certain shapes to fill in puzzles and stuff like that,
Oh, that sounds
and solve
neat.
puzzles. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think Talia would also like Minecraft for the Switch.
Well, definitely. I mean, that goes without saying. She's got Minecraft and everything she owns. Which most of you are welcome for that, because we've basically used every single license. I think I've literally given that out so many times that I've had to kick other people out of the license that I had. But,
Look, I appreciate it.
yeah, I would play Minecraft. They got Skyrim on that. I'm sure Xander would enjoy that.
Yeah, Xander
That's
would.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What's the game he plays most often? Skyrim. Okay.
Yep.
If he gets a Switch, he can play that on the go. He can play that somewhere else. But no, I'm the bad guy because I don't want him to get some phone that he'll shove in his pocket and then it'll get destroyed. It's like, it'll be fine, I'll put it in my pocket.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, you don't come home with your pockets completely soaked and caked in mud all the time.
That's true.
It is true.
Tell me why.
That's a nice critical hit, by the way.
That was. Tell me why he thought it was a good idea in the middle of winter to fill his galoshes with water. And and when I asked him why he did it, do you want to know his reason?
Why? What did he say?
His reason was, I thought if I put water in my boots, it would make my feet silent so I could sneak up on the dog.
Okay. We only did it once, right?
Yeah, mostly because I yelled at him and told him he'd get hypothermic and that he'd get his feet frostbitten and then I'd have to chop them off.
Well, yeah, but I would, at least he's not dumb enough to make that mistake again,
He just don't want his feet chopped off.
No, I honestly don't think he would try it again for that purpose. Maybe he thinks for some other stupid thing. Well, that's what I'm saying, like, what benefit is there? And that's what we were having a conversation about. It's like, why do you want a phone? I want to play games on it. Okay, get something else to play games on. Well, I want to call people. Okay, get you a cheap phone and get something to play games on. No. That's crazy. You're ridiculous.
Yeah, I need to try to find a way to explain that to him because he's very, single-minded and he thinks that just because he has the money, he should spend it on that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if he wants to get himself like a cheap phone, I think, well, I mean, if you would be interested in this, I would be fine if we, like, tried to, well, I don't know. Because
Well,
I'm worried if we ended up, we split money on getting like a Switch or something, and he took it somewhere, then he might lose it, I think.
yeah. But like, Mom and I looked online, and we can get him he can get him a smartphone for like $35.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, and once, he's never had a phone before either.
No.
So he
Do
doesn't,
wait a minute. Do they still give out those welfare phones?
maybe.
Cuz he has a medical card.
Well, what's his name? White Obama's president right now, so I'm
You
sure
said
they,
white
yeah,
Obama.
they probably got something like that somewhere.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Uh,
Well, I haven't seen those pop-up tents in a while, so I didn't know if they were still giving those out.
I mean, you could ask. And the thing is, yeah, I mean, that would work. Like, he just needs something that's gonna be tough enough to do to survive what he does, that's not so expensive that if he loses it, it's life
He
ending.
needs one of those Nokias from the early
That was
2000s,
my first phone.
the brick phones.
I think he wants one that he can at least do like pictures and stuff on.
Well, I've already gave him a bunch of rules on what he's allowed to take pictures of and what he's
Well,
not.
yeah, I appreciate that, but I think that's as far as it goes. Like, he doesn't need a phone to play games on.
No,
Like,
he doesn't.
that's the key. So he started the conversation.
And what games is he gonna play on the phone anyway?
I don't know. Yeah, because you got to buy those too. And you were talking about, $45 a month or whatever for him to. I don't think he understands. Like, his money stream is not necessarily consistent.
No, it's not.
But
Well, then, and he was like, well, what if I don't have $45 to pay for it? I said, then you ain't gonna have service. Sorry about your luck.
yeah,
He was like, well, I don't want bills. I'm just a kid. Why should I have to pay bills? I said, if you want a phone, you're gonna pay for
you're
it.
just a kid. What do you need a phone for?
I was like, look, all the adults that have phones have to pay for them.
Yeah, I think I think you really should look into getting him a welfare phone.
He wouldn't know the difference.
Well, the thing is, like, he's never had a phone. He doesn't understand. Like, if he gets a smartphone, there's a huge chance that it's just going to end up ruined immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And then he won't have it, and then he'll have wasted all that money on it.
Yep.
When he could have had something else.
Yep.
Because
something more tangible.
He started the conversation with me. He's like, well, you know that my Kindle's not going to last forever.
And he thinks a phone is going to last forever?
And I was like, I mean, if you take care of it, it will last. He's like, yeah, but it'll eventually, stop working, because when things get old, it'll stop working. And I was like, well, I mean, it has to do more with y'all jacking everything up that you touch more than
right.
It being old. But I was like, okay, all right. And then he's like, I want a phone because this thing's not gonna last forever. It's like, okay, what are you gonna use it for? And then that was when he told me, he's like, I want something to play games on.
I think a lot of the reason he wants a phone is because he sees a lot of kids his age that have one.
Yeah, I understand that.
But because even last night when I was talking to him about it, he was like, because I was talking, I was telling him how he's going to have to pay for his own phone and he's going to have to pay for the service. And he was like, well, other kids have phones and their parents pay for their service. I said, yeah. And you know what? When those kids grow up to be adults and have bills of their own, they're not going to know how to pay their bills or manage their money or be responsible, but you will.
And he, and I guess it's maybe the kid mindset, maybe he doesn't understand this, but it's not like you or me or mom or granny or Gadu, any of us, all of us spend money on him.
Yeah.
A lot of money on him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the thing is, like, he's interested in a lot of stuff that the rest of those kids aren't interested in.
Right.
And he has some things that they don't have, you know. But he sees the phone and he's like, well, I don't have that, so I want that. You know, if that's one of the major reasons why he wants the phone. But it's almost like he's saying, well, you know, I have nothing and they have everything just because they have this one thing that I don't have.
Right. But I mean, also, you know, he is a little kid, so
Yeah, I
he
mean,
still has that little
yeah.
kid mindset. He doesn't necessarily have the ability yet to step outside of his own thinking and properly observe and judge things.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's more of a skill that you practice rather than
Yeah.
rather than like a skill that you just magically
Yeah.
have as an adult. Because there's adults that can't even do that.
You're right. Well, the thing is, if he would understand that
That's going to be the hard part, is getting him to
that
understand.
no phone that he can afford is going to be as effective as if he got two separate things to do two different jobs.
Yeah.
Like, he just does not need a phone that will play games and do all this other stuff that'll break real easy, you know, and cost all this money.
Well, I know when he came up to me and he was like, I have $300 and there's a $300 phone I want. I was like, that's a lot of money for a phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I want the best. Oh, level 8. I'll be so excited when we get our Butterfree.
Yeah.
Even though I think it'll be like level 12 before
Like,
it learns confusion.
My phone is a lot more than his. But the thing is, you know, I use my phone for a lot more things than he would ever use it for.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and that's what I tried to tell him. I was like, you know, just because something's expensive doesn't mean it's automatically better.
Oh, that's true. Not automatically. It usually is, but not automatically.
But like, there's a bunch of stuff that's like thousands of dollars that doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's better.
That's true.
Like, you can go and spend $20 on something that's similar and have it work, have it serve the same purpose. Yeah. But he doesn't necessarily understand that yet.
And the thing is, not only is it's not like we're just trying to cut costs, but
no,
he needs a phone that is more rugged and able to withstand all the stuff that he's doing when he's like going outside, like cutting down trees, playing in the creek, doing all this kind of stuff. You know, a regular smartphone can't do that.
Right.
And then if he thinks that just putting it in his pocket
is going to be enough to protect it.
I mean, that right there shows you how ridiculous his thought process is.
If anyone comments or watches this, I don't even know. But if anyone in the comments knows, like, a phone that's good for, like, people in that line of work, like, or construction people, like, what's a good phone that you use? Give us cheap suggestions, because I am cheap.
Well, get him a cheap, durable phone, and then, as far as games go, I really think the Switch would probably be the way to go for him.
Yeah, because, like, I don't even know what games he would play on the phone.
Yeah.
Other than Hungry Shark.
And he would probably be more satisfied.
I
think if he had it in his hands.
He'd be a lot happier playing Skyrim.
Yeah, because that's like literally his favorite game. My friend Jeff, who's friends with him on Xbox now, he'll snap me or like if we're talking, he'll tell me, he's like, oh, Xander's on, he's playing Skyrim again, you know. And there's a lot of stuff that he likes that would be on that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I think he would enjoy.
He's more of a visual person, so I think if he were to see what all's available for the Switch, I think he'd be more inclined.
Yeah. And he doesn't even need, like, you know, I forget what they're called. I think they're called Switch Lights.
Is that the handheld
Yeah,
one?
that's the one that's just handheld. And he could take that with him places.
Yeah, that'd be like a Game Boy.
Yeah, and they make like screen protectors and stuff for all that. And that's what I'm saying, like, honestly, even now with the phone that I have, if all I needed really was to play games, a call and text, I would take having a DS over, the phone that I have now as far as playing games
I love
goes.
my
And the
DS.
thing with Switches is they're made not like the DS. I mean, the DS could do this to a certain extent, but they have a lot of internal storage where you can get the US cards that go into them.
Oh, yeah.
So you can literally download games onto it, not have to carry anything other than the Switch around, and there you go. You got this, and you got all these games. Maybe if I don't even know if he knows that that Skyrim's on that.
He probably doesn't, but
He might be interested in that if
I think he would be. But I don't know. It's trying to sit him down and calmly explain it to him without him getting all defensive and hateful.
It's like, would you rather have a phone that does everything that you need it to do, and then a game console that can do a lot more than a phone could do, or do you want a phone that can, do it all, I guess?
Well, he told me too he wants a phone so he can watch YouTube. I'm like, you can watch YouTube on your Kindle.
Yeah. There's nothing that he does not have access to that he...
Like, the only difference is a phone with service. Like, if he were, like, on a trip with, like, his school or, like, with us.
Yeah.
He wouldn't need Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but if he's with... Well, I mean, I guess at school it could be different, but when he's with us, we have hotspots. At least, I think me and Mom do.
I think I have a hotspot,
Yeah,
but I don't know how many gigs it is.
Pretty sure it comes with our service. But, but still, like, okay, watching a YouTube video, whatever, I'd still rather have, and I like Skyrim, okay? And I have personally considered several times, I mean, I'm sure you've heard me mull it over about 1,000,000 times at this point.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get a Switch.
To get a Switch.
I'm surprised you didn't.
Well, I bought an Xbox Series S not long after I got out of college, so...
I know, moneybags.
Well, no, that's because I was working. I was working a second job back then. So I had more money to...
Well, you also don't have bills either, so...
Well, that's true, but I was working a second job. Like, I have the money to get one now, but now that I'm not working a second job, and now
you need that money for other things.
Like, I don't know if...
Well, and gas is like $6 now.
This is crazy. Thank you, White Obama. Oh my goodness. It is crazy. Like, I've heard that the new Pokemons are garbage, to be honest with you.
I mean, I've heard mixed reviews about them, but I'd still like to play it and check it out.
I would get a Switch just for Skyrim and Animal Crossing.
I've heard a lot of things about Animal Crossing. I've heard it's kind of like a light version of Sims.
Well, I had Animal Crossing, and I was like borderline addicted to it. And then I let you borrow the Wii, and then 3 days later or whatever, it was stolen. So I have not been able to play it since then.
I'm sorry.
Broke out.
I can't control the crackheads in my neighborhood.
It's water under the bridge, I guess. But it still stings. Still stings.
I'm sorry. If it makes you feel better, they stole my TV and all my jewelry.
No, why would that make me feel any better that bad stuff happened to you?
Because to know that you're not alone.
That does not make me feel any better.
Stole my toilet paper, too.
Wow. That is pretty rough.
Like, you're really gonna break into somebody's house and steal their toilet paper?
I know. And steal their Wii that you generously gave. And PlayStation. Man.
And all the cords.
Well, of course they're gonna steal the cords.
They stole the TV, too.
Well, yeah. What are they gonna use the cords for other than the TV and the games and stuff? What level does he need to be Butterfree?
10, but he doesn't learn confusion until like 12.
Well, that's fine. Well, when he becomes Butterfree, does he get an ability where he can attack?
Nope.
Where he just has Harden?
Until level 12.
That's garbage.
Yes. I think it was in Yellow where they changed it to where as soon as he evolves at level 10, he learns confusion.
We're getting up there.
Zim should be learning.
What?
Oh, he's evolving already?
Wow.
Are you going to let him evolve?
I guess so.
Okay.
I mean, what are the benefits to not letting him evolve?
Yay. Well, they learn moves slower when they evolve.
Oh.
So, like, if you wanted, like, depending on what Pokemon it is, some Pokemon can't learn certain moves if they evolve, or they'll learn moves slower.
Was Ivysaur in any of those categories?
Ivysaur will just learn moves a little bit slower. Typically, the only reason you would stop an evolution is so they can learn a move earlier, or just in general.
I just realized what I did. I used Harden instead of switching out.
So now our plant monster can stand up. I hate these back sprites.
That looks really ugly.
It does. I don't know if we'll be able to catch a Mankey. We might be able to, but Mankey's back sprite looks awful. Mankey just looks like he has wet noodle arms.
That's gross.
It's really weird.
Remember Salad Fingers? Did you ever watch that?
I've heard about it.
It's weird.
That was back in the days of the creepypastas, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I think they started making newer episodes. Maybe 1 or 2 years ago.
There's a podcast that'll tell you creepypastas.
I know y'all like that mountain one. What's it called?
Old Gods of Appalachia.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
I still think... Oh my goodness. Maybe we should record us playing D&D if we ever do it again. But, one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my entire life was... do you know what I'm gonna say right now?
No, but I have a feeling.
Well, we were, it's this show, so I don't even remember who did it, but it was like a couple of people that do another D&D type podcast called Adventure Zone. They had the brothers from that, and then a couple other people doing it.
You're talking about when they did the Lego one?
Yes. And it was Brendan Mulligan. I forget. Man, I can't remember the name of the show. But they did one where it was kind of like a Toy Story themed D&D session. And one of the brothers that was in the Adventure Zone makes a character called Rick Diggins. And he's like a Lego man that can put on these costumes, but he has different personalities for different costumes. And that was the funniest thing. I mean, it was just so funny. Like, he was there was Rick Diggins, the Superior Man, where he looked like Superman.
Oh my gosh.
Rick Diggins, Man About Town, where he was like a gambler. And then there was Officer Rick Diggins.
Oh my god.
Who was a police officer. And then Lieutenant Rick Diggins, who's a spaceman. He's an astronaut. And then there was Digginsaurus Rick, which he would just put on like a dinosaur costume.
Just growl at people?
No, he would talk, but he was like an entertainer.
Okay.
Like a entertainer. And then there was Rick Diggins Prime, which is his actual personality when he didn't have a hat on or anything. And he was like a angry, smoking Frenchman. And it was so funny. I mean, it was one of the greatest characters I have seen in
That's
recent memory.
fantastic.
It was hilarious.
I think the funniest thing in one of our D&D playthroughs was because we did a Star Wars one, was Talia's character trying to stab Vader with a knife.
Yeah, yeah, she was like she wasn't even force sensitive. She was just a smuggler, and she had lost her